Let me make sure I got it. Hi, everybody. I am Tracy Blair Haas. I own a State Farm agency here in Middletown on the corner of Main Street and Watterson Trail. Excuse me. Hold on one second. Sorry, I'm coughing. Hold on.
Are you okay?
Well, I don't want to choke to death on the call. Laura, stop recording. Just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, I own the State Farm agency here in Middletown. I've been doing this for 20 years. I took over for my dad's agency about 10 years ago. I started my own 20 years ago, scratch with no business, and have grown the business. And then moved in here to Middletown where my dad started this office in '74. So we have got lots of feet here in Middletown, love it, on the chamber board, and try to just be really involved in the community. We're the largest State Farm agency in Kentucky, and we typically in the last couple years have ranked anywhere from highest number 8 in the country to number 25, where we currently are, out of 18,000 State Farm agents. Our main thing is obviously auto home protection there with the insurance policies, umbrella policies, business insurance, but we also play a huge part with life insurance. We're one of the top life insurance providers at State Farm, one of the top 100 agents. We are partner with the $1 Million Roundtable. And so we do a lot with small businesses and work with a lot of our customers on that. So that's a little bit about us. I'm really excited about this group. And so just want to talk about the group real quick, and then I'd love to go around and do introductions. Laura, does that sound okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this was an idea that our chamber board had in order to get our chamber members engaged, since we can't really be meeting together in person with large groups. So we're kind of missing that attention of meeting people. And so we decided with the Affinity group about a year or two ago, the chamber started a senior group. I believe that was maybe 2 years ago, Laura.
It was.
That is hugely successful. The attendance of those lunch meetings was, sometimes 45 people. And that was a really great opportunity for networking. So when we saw that happen, we thought, you know what, let's do some other affinity groups. And we decided to combine banking and the financial services together to make one group. And, Gina and I talked about this, and we said, the challenge with a group like this is that we're all competitors. And so, getting on a call and sharing, here's what I do, here's what I do. Some people might not want to do that, but when we really think about it, to us, the main goal of this group was to form a better sense of community amongst all of the partners in Middletown that are in the banking and financial services insurance industries. And so that we know each other, we meet each other. And, if a client comes to me and says, oh, I'm with, so-and-so, maybe I say, hey, instead of switching over here, why don't you go talk to them first? And so I think when we know each other, we probably do better for the customer, just better stewards of the community. We also thought this would be a great networking opportunity. I know myself, I need other insurance agents to send business to, financial planners, bankers, and that type of thing. And I think everyone in the group can also, grow their own business from these relationships. And then the other aspect of the group was really just to find out, kind of where we are right now with everything going on with COVID and the election and all that kind of stuff. What's going on in your world as far as insurance or banking and in general that might help the other people on the call kind of understand where each person's at. So I'll stop talking. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to just kind of go through everybody on the call. And Laura, if you could kind of keep attendance, that would be great. But I'd like to go through everyone on the call and just have you, quick minute introduction about yourself, what you do, and let's roll through that, and then we'll move on to kind of our next topic. And so on my screen, I see Jimmy. Jimmy, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. My name's Jimmy Seward. I'm a commercial banker with Fork Bank here in Jeffersontown. I work with business owners and commercial real estate investors, both of whom have been fairly impacted by what's going on here. So we've been staying busy with that, participating with the government loans, kind of helping our clients navigate what's going on. So Laura had mentioned this group. This is actually my first time on it, so I was anxious to get out and hear a little bit about what everybody else was doing.
That's great, Jimmy. Thanks, and welcome to the group. Is this your first time on the group?
Yes, ma'am. My first time with this group. Yeah.
Great. Well, we'd love to have you continue. We're going to be coming up with some new ideas, and we're just kind of getting started. So any ideas you've got, we'd love to. Nice to meet you, and thanks for joining. Okay, next I see Chris Mattingly.
Good morning still to everybody. Chris Mattingly with Personalized Merchant Services, LLC. And I have several different services that I can help small to medium-sized businesses with. Credit card processing probably is the largest. I also can help with some business lending. If banks aren't able to help them, then I may have a couple sources for outside the banking arena that to help some people out. And then I also work with St. Jude's Lab, providing COVID testing and free RX discount card for people to help get discounts off their drug things. So that's just a quick overview. Chris Mattingly, Personalized Merchant Services.
Great. Thank you, Chris. Glad you're on the call. Let's see. Next, I have Joseph. How are you doing? Thanks for coming back this week or this month. Appreciate it. Joseph, why don't you go ahead and talk?
Well, Tracy, thank you very much. I'm Joe Soik. I'm with New York Life out here in Louisville. I'm strictly in the space of family protection and savings right now. Mostly life insurance, long-term care, annuities, IRAs, nothing market related right now. I don't really want to focus on that at this point, but I'm always just, my thing is always just meeting people. My title is agent, but I'm more like a financial doctor, if you will. I have to get to know you and kind of hear your story and see what you're about before we can decide what to do from there. It's as simple as that. I'm going to leave my contact info in the chat box. If everybody wants to send me a text with their name, let's grab coffee or drinks at some point in the near future here, if provided bars and coffee houses are open, and kind of go from there. So nice to see everybody here that I've seen before. Joe Soik with New York Life.
Thanks, Joe. And I was going to ask if you go by Joe. Appreciate
yes.
that. Thank you for reminding about that, the chat. If everybody could do that, I think that would be great for us to get all that information. Okay, and I see that come through. Okay, let's see here. Benny, thanks for coming back. We appreciate you being here. Go ahead, and I'm going to let you talk.
Thank you. Oops. I'm Benny Lopez. I'm a business banker for Chase. I cover different areas. So I'm in Middletown, in Hikes Point, in Holiday Manor, Preston, Okolona, Bashford Manor. So I support some of our teams, our business banking teams, helping our clients, small to medium-sized business owners. I do manage a small portfolio of clients, and I basically concierge on everything for them, from opening accounts to helping with their commercial real estate loans or anything related to business. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And actually, Laura, if you don't mind, I've got some people emailing that they're trying to get into the meeting.
I don't have anybody trying to get in.
Okay. Quinn Bernhardt.
He's in.
Okay. Oh, Quinn is in now. Okay, great.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on.
Okay, good. Hey, thanks, Benny. I appreciate that. And let's see here. Okay. Let's see who we got. Quinn, you're on my screen next. Do you want to, I'm sorry you just joined. Do you want to give us just a little 1 minute? Who are you? What do you do? We're just kind of going around your introduction.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone.
Fire, guy. I love that.
Hey, I'm Quinn Bernhardt. I work with Draper Kramer Mortgage, and pardon my address, but I am in Longboat Key, Florida right at the moment on a workcation. My wife and I work together, so every once in a while we try to get out of town and do our work at a better location. So that's where we're at today. But I'm in the mortgage business, so if anybody's trying to buy a house, they don't have credit and cash, they come to a guy like me, and we'll provide them that the funds necessary to buy the home. But right now we're real busy with refinances as well. Rates right at this very moment are the lowest in history, at least in any of our lifetimes that are on this call. So a lot of people taking advantage of that to get the refinance, to perhaps lower their payment or shorten the term if they want to go with a shorter term. My wife and I are actually in the middle of doing a refinance right now for that purpose. So going from a 30 to a 15, and it's only changing our payment by about $100 a month. So looking forward to paying this thing off early. So if you know anybody wants to buy a refi, I'd love to be their guy.
Thanks, Quinn. We're jealous of where you are. That's awesome. Okay, we are going to go to Miss, is it Rensha? Am I saying that right? Okay. We'd love to hear from you. How are you doing? Thanks for joining.
Hello, everyone. Rachel Leader with the Thomas Allen Allstate Agency. I am the brand executive, so I do everything from community relations to HR, recruitment, anything dealing with the community and driving business for our agency. That's what I do. Glad to be here.
Hey, Rensha, you were breaking up when you first started talking. Are you an Allstate agent, or are you with their main office in recruiting?
I'm the brand executive for the Thomas Allen Allstate Agency.
Oh, got it. Okay, Thomas Allen. Awesome. Well, thanks for joining
my
us.
Wi-Fi is being worked to the max. I'm over here and we have NPI, multiple students on, so I do apologize.
Hey, I understand. I get it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it. And where are you guys located?
We're on Victor Ray, right by Shelbyville and Hurst Lawrence. And then we also have an office on Fern Valley Road as well.
Okay. Got it. Good. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us. Okay. Next on my screen is Cammie.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What were we just supposed to give an introduction? Sorry, I missed that.
Just your name and who you're with and what you do.
Okay. My name is Cammie Duncan. I'm with Advanced Credit Union. I handle the marketing. My title is Business Development Officer. We have 6 locations, and I'm currently at the main office, which is Orange Station, but my home is Outer Loop branch. And I handle the marketing. My job right now is to try to get more training for staff, just because I'm not out and about, and I'm usually out and about, but with everything going on, I'm stuck in the office. I'm so excited. So now I'll be doing helping with training, getting the staff more familiar with our products.
And Cammie, could you let everybody know?
Okay, thanks, Cammie. Thanks for.
I was gonna say, could you let everybody know about your name change?
Oh yeah, we used to be formerly Jefferson County Federal, and we just changed July to Advanced Federal Credit Union, but Advanced Credit Union.
Wow, great to know. Thanks for letting us know that. Appreciate you being on the call. Okay, Amy, I see you're driving. Is now an okay time to talk to us?
You're on mute, Amy.
Amy, I think you're on mute. There you go. You're off mute. Hi.
It didn't take me off. That's so funny.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll let you go ahead and talk.
Yeah. So I still miss getting to see everyone in person. I mean, it's good that we have this option, but just had to throw that out there. So I'm with Aflac. I've been there for a little over a year now, and I mainly help people with the supplementary benefits. So, you know, anything from your accident to hospital, short-term disability, those kinds of things. And we are helping businesses also capitalize on the workers' opportunity tax credit. So they could get anywhere from a $2,400 to a $9,400 tax credit per employee that they hire. And that's all, like all of these things are no cost solutions. So it doesn't cost the business owner anything to offer it. So that's kind of what I do. Love doing it. I'm, you know, enjoying helping people in this space. So yeah.
That's awesome. We have Aflac at our office for our employees, and they love it. So I think for all small businesses, no matter, here I am a State Farm agent, we've got, and that we are offering that as part of their group benefits. So good job. Okay, so next I see on the call, let's see, Jack Martin, would you like to go?
Yeah, hello everyone, it's Jack Martin. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's Jack Martin. I'm the owner of Glenn Martin Insurance Agency. We're an independent insurance agency. We sell auto, home, business, life, and health insurance. We're at the corner of Shelbyville Road and Dorsey Lane, adjacent to the Baskin Robbins and the Jersey Mike's. I kind of like Tracy, I've been in the business for a long time. My dad started the business almost 40 years ago, and I've been doing this over 30. Again, we're an independent insurance agent. Some of the companies I represent are like Safeco, Hartford, Progressive, AAA, MetLife, on down the line. But I probably represent somewhere about 30 different carriers. So again, I'd love to be able to network with all you guys, from other insurance agents to the bankers, the credit card processing, on down the line. But that's what we do, and look forward to actually meeting all you guys. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Jack. I think I got everybody. But it's hard when I have to swipe. Laura says yes. Okay, perfect. That's awesome. I think there was someone else that might have had to drop off the call. Okay, so one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about with when we look at kind of the main reason that we're doing this, obviously one of the reasons is networking. So one of the things I want to do is, if we could pretend we had a whiteboard, so maybe everybody gets a blank piece of paper out, and I want you to think about the type of people that are on the call right now. And so, you know, we've got several people that are in insurance on the call. We have a State Farm, an Allstate, and an independent agent. We have an Aflac that deals, obviously, some of those benefits that you can give to your clients. Then we have some people in commercial banking. We have a life insurance agent on the call. So several business bankers, a mortgage, Quinn, who's a mortgage rep. And then I think that's kind of everybody that we have. And so when you think about so I guess the first question to write down is, of the people that are on the call, who do you think you would be able to send business to? And so what I'd like you to do is kind of write their names down. So I'll give you an example. For me, I would be able to send business to Joe with New York Life. If we have something that we can't do, I would be able to send business to the other insurance agents if we can't do it. And then business banking, several people ask me all the time about that. And probably number one for me would be Quinn on the mortgage side. And so when I think about that, I've got 4 or 5 names written down. So write those names down. And maybe what would you send those people? What type of business? How could you refer? Then second, go ahead and write down who could refer to me. So who would be the main top 3 people on this call that you think you could benefit by receiving a referral from? And so go ahead and write that down. And so what I want to do here is, I know we've all been in several networking groups, and I want to talk about what is a personal referral. And so as we all, I think, would agree, a personal referral is absolutely the best way to get business. And so one of the things that we've been working on in some of the networking groups that I'm in is, how do you give that personal referral? You know, I'll often get an email from someone that says, hey, you can call this client, but the client doesn't know I'm calling. I'm sure, Rachel, you've probably had that happen. And that's sometimes an awkward conversation. Whereas when someone says, you know, hey, Jimmy told me to give you a call. He said you guys were working on this and that you may need to look at your insurance. I'd love to help. That's so much better. And so what I'd like us to all do, if a takeaway is, I'd like you guys to kind of pick the top 2 people that you think could send you business and the top 2 people that you could send business to. And I'd like you, after the call, to schedule a 10-minute follow-up with them, just a quick phone call to really talk about how this could happen. I think if we do a good job of getting business going back and forth, we'll probably have the most successful affinity group. And I think with the networking, that would be awesome. And people will be hearing about this and we'll get more people attracted to our group. To spend an hour of our time, we need to make sure that this is relevant, number one, but also we need to make sure that each person is getting something out of it. And when you think about why you joined the chamber, one of the reasons had to be networking. So right now, I think this could be great for all of us. Does anybody have anything to add to that? Please speak up.
Yes, to touch on what you were just saying, Tracy, I think about this every day whenever I'm on a networking event. We're all small business owners in a way. We're independent agents or bankers. We're not like, yeah, we may be with big companies, but we're all business owners or business professionals. I have a theory that the more we all take care of each other in that way, the better off we're all going to be. If that makes sense, if you can kind of relate to that.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's a great point. Anybody else want to chime in?
So yes, actually something that has been working well for me is on the side of referrals, instead of saying necessarily a referral, doing introductions. So I will ask both parties involved, hey, would it be okay if I send a three-way text, or hey, so-and-so, I want to connect you with this gal that I met, Lisa, would it be okay if I connect you with a three-way text? And so, or a three-way email. But that opens that bridge of communication, and it's really easy to do. And so I did this with one of the doctors that I partnered with, and just like I've sent her several people that have been able to use, she's a naturopathic doctor, and so they have been able to use her services for their GI health or for different things like that. So that tends to work really well. Also, I just had somebody today ask me about if anybody does workers' comp. I don't do that. So if any of you do that or know someone who does that, please let me know. And then one other thing that I do insurance-wise is I actually do like mortgage protection for people too. So that's separate from my AFLAC, but something that I am able to handle. So yeah, anyway, introductions are a really great way to make that connection.
Awesome. And I'd love to help with the workers' comp. We do a lot of that. Okay, so I love the introductions, and that's a great way to do it. And I think when you introduce somebody and you do the three-way text or the three-way email, I think it makes just a huge difference opposed to just saying, hey, you can call this person. So I'd love for our group to really take off with that. Okay, so anybody else have anything on that? Nope. Okay. So the next thing is really community. And just understanding kind of the community that we're in and where everybody is coming from. What's the landscape of the insurance, financial, banking industries right now? Last month, I keep thinking last week, Joe Schmidt with Commonwealth Bank kind of talked about the banking industry and what's going on right now. And so that was really nice to kind of hear from him. And so what we would like to do going forward is we would like to have at least one person from each, insurance, banking, and financial services to be on the call to spend 5 minutes talking about, or 2 or 3 minutes, whatever it is, about kind of what's going on in your industry, not necessarily your particular company, but kind of in your industry. And so we'd like to have that planned out for next time. But then also today, I know we didn't have this plan before. Would anybody like to speak up from the banking industry to talk about kind of what's going on and how things are going?
I can talk about what's going on with the credit card industry.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So because of this pandemic, business owners have found themselves in a position to where they've had to take credit cards have been like, almost 100% of their business, it seems like. they've had to increase the way that they can do business. So, you know, they've added online services, or they're taking a lot more orders over the phone. And in order to get those payments, they're taking credit cards. And they've also come across all this stuff where, you know, they want to have as little contact. So they're looking for no-touch possibilities, which again is either internet over the phone, or with the right equipment, you can have people, you know, scanning their own cards. So it has really put a small business owner in a precarious situation to where, you know, they knew they always had to take credit cards anyway. And there's a lot of costs involved with taking credit cards, a lot of bottom line paying fees and that kind of thing. So they've seen a tremendous increase in what they have to do to make that work. Their business has probably been cut in half. So they've doubled their credit cards, their expenses have all gone up, and their volume of profits has gotten even less. And unfortunately, there's not something in the foreseeable future that's going to make that, you know, that much better. And for those companies that have had the success of at least transforming into this, going forward, that's still going to be a big way that they have to do their business. So for them to succeed, they have to look at how they're doing that, how they can control some of those costs, look at who they're working with, look for possible options of ways, you know, to cut those corners. I'm not going to talk about what I can do, because that's not what I'm supposed to do here. But, you know, that's one of the things that I can help with if they want to have those conversations. I have talked with a lot of people recently, myself, that I was referred to. We talked about their business and what they do. And at the end of the conversation, what they're doing at the moment is as good as it's going to get for them until, you know, things change. And then at that point, there can be things that they can do. But this is not going to be something that's ever going to go away, for two reasons. One, because of this disease, and in the future, who knows what other pandemic is going to come our direction. But more and more of the population now has gotten used to doing this. So they want to order everything online, or be able to call and pick it up when they drive by. They're not going to go back and sit in restaurants or go shopping. They're going to pick this stuff up. That habit isn't going to change. So for the business owner, they're going to have to really look at that going forward, as this is going to be a cost that I'm going to have to endure and survive. So that's what I've really seen over the last 6 months and how it's affecting businesses.
Okay, thank you for that. Jimmy, I think you were going to also give us maybe your take on the business banking.
Yeah, I mean, just the biggest thing that's going on with us right now is the payroll protection plan. We've been kind of working with that. Our clients, I think that's kind of front and center for them. Everybody's now moved into the forgiveness phase and is looking to get these loans forgiven through the government and the bank that they took them out through. We did get some updated guidance on Monday on loans less than $50,000. They've issued an express forgiveness application for that. In all likelihood, your bank has probably told you to hold off on submitting for forgiveness. Not let the other bankers speak to their banks, but I think most of them in market, anybody with a loan less than 150, the hope is that there'll be some legislation come out for kind of a blanket forgiveness for those type of loans, or those loans of those size. We don't really expect anything to come out of DC until after the election. Whichever candidate ends up, you know, in office, though, it's kind of an easy layup for them day one to push that through. So most banks are telling folks to hold off until after then. The payments are being pushed out. The accrued interest is being waived as well. So that's kind of, as I'm out in the community meeting with my clients and business and real estate folks, that kind of seems to be what comes up the most. So if anybody has any questions on those, I'll be more than happy to answer them if you want to reach out to me privately. But yeah, that's kind of the state of the union in our world.
Okay, thank you for that. I know that is on all of our minds, so that's really good. Is there somebody, just because I'm talking so much, what about one of the other insurance folks? Would you guys, anyone want to give an update on kind of what's going on in your world? let's see, Rensha, I don't know if you're still on the call.
She is.
Okay, there you are.
Still on. Yes, I'm on the beginning of the pandemic with so many people not driving. We were one of the first agents or industries kind of offering that forgiveness, kind of similar to what they did in the banking payment, paybacks for your premiums and things of that nature. And now our customers are getting more adjusted back to the top. So we're reaching back out and saying, hey, this is what happened in April and May. However, how are you doing now? So we're making those relationship calls to our current customers and also kind of putting that back out in the industry and in the marketing materials that we are here for you. Of course, good hands, things of that nature. Going forward, I know a lot of talk around the industry has been about, the homeowners and definitely looping policies together. So we're kind of pushing that out, making sure people are taking advantage fully of everything that our book of business has to offer.
That's great. Perfect. Quinn, I know everybody wants to probably hear from you. What's going on with them? I know the mortgage business has been crazy. You want to give us a quick update?
Be happy to. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Appraisals and everything. Just the volume is ridiculous, and people that are refinancing, it's taking a little longer than usual. They're not understanding. They think, hey, I'm the only one out there doing this, but we've got appraisals taking 3 to 4 weeks to come back, and title, normally takes a couple of days. Those are taking several weeks to get back. So it's, I try to explain to people, it's like a big rush hour. You're in the traffic and you realize, when you see it there in front of you, all those cars, they're trying to go the same place you are. So just anticipate a little bit longer waits for the process to take place. But it's a good problem for me, obviously. I don't mind working 12, 14-hour days because in my business, I like to make money when the sun's shining, kind of thing. And the sun is pretty shiny right now. But rates are our absolute lowest levels, and I'm not even sure why. It's a market-driven thing, kind of like the stock market. The investors that are buying the mortgage-backed securities are real comfortable with those because of the fact that they have the real estate backing it up and investments. So, but we're in the low twos on a 15-year and just 2.5 to 2.65 on a 30-year. So, who wouldn't want to take advantage of that? And of course, expect a longer than expected wait.
Tracy, it's Jack here.
Hey, Jack.
I was going to interject a couple side issues on insurance. What concerns insurance carriers right now is, even Louisville, is the civil commotion. I mean, they're still scared to death about potential damage downtown. A lot of companies or businesses that they have not opened, or they haven't, or they're still boarded up, and insurance companies are leery to think that maybe there's still more down the road. I personally had one of those businesses downtown where it got, during the riots, somewhere they paid out $300,000 in damages. So, and they're still closed at this point. So that's one of their concerns is going forward. And the other thing is on cyber liability. This is probably something that's always been important, even more so now, where there's a lot of bad guys out there that they got time now to try to hack your business or so on. So that's a lot of things we're really looking at too right now. There you go.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jack. Does anybody have anything else to add about their industry? What they're seeing now, maybe what's changed or what's happening that's good, bad?
Yeah, I could talk a little more about the COVID, how it's affected things, because, when Congress came out with their little plan on forbearance and mortgages, they didn't give the industry any heads up on that or any guidance on what lenders are supposed to do. So suddenly we've got people not paying their mortgage payments. And so the lenders got to, eat that cost as well as, or at least, defer that benefit from those payments. But also we're out there paying for their escrows, taxes, and insurance. And we didn't have any guidance for about a month or two. So that made it a challenge because, here you have these people in forbearance, which, presumes that they're not able to pay their mortgage, but they're trying to get a new mortgage. So, how do you go through that in the underwriting process, and particularly with no guidance from the GSCs like Fannie or Freddie or HUD or anybody like that. So that presented a challenge, and we're still kind of working through some of that, but it's made us look a little closer to clients, and particularly self-employed people that may have taken a big hit with their income. So you're looking a little closer at their the business banking deposits and stuff to make sure they make sense, and getting profit and loss statements and stuff, so we can make sure that their business is not in the middle of going belly up while they're trying to get a mortgage.
Okay, well, thanks. Well, I love hearing from everybody. And one of the things that we promised the group on the first call is that we would not drag this out for 1 hour just to drag it out for an hour. And I think that, our hope is that we can get around 20 people on the call. I think that would be good in the group. That way, if some people can't come, you've got 15, 16 on the call each week. And so I believe we've got a set schedule, so that's good. I'd like to next week, what I'd like to do is we'll reach out to 3 folks and have them present. And then we'll also considering getting a speaker next week. So we'd like to do that. I keep saying next week, next month. But one of the things I would ask everyone to do is to reach out to those people on your list, your top 2 or 3 people, and start forming some connections. When you talk to someone on a phone call for 10 minutes, you get to know them a lot better. And then also, we did have an idea that maybe we could meet in person if we have a big enough location where we can kind of all be apart. We'll also send an email out and kind of get some opinions on that, who wants to do that, who doesn't. And so before I finish, I did want to say that I want to thank Laura on the call. I know we have some of you new. I'm not sure if you guys know, Laura is our president of our chamber now, took over that position here in the last couple months. She's doing an amazing job. She is working her butt off. Any ideas you guys have or anything for the chamber, I know she'd love to hear from you. And then also Nicole. Nicole is awesome. For those of you who don't know Nicole, let's see, I believe she's on the call. Nicole has joined our office team at the chamber office, and she's been a great help. And so for those of you who don't know her, anything you need with the chamber as far as kind of logistics and that kind of stuff, she's always willing to help. Laura, did you have anything to let the group know about dates or anything of upcoming events?
Well, just one thing. Do you want to announce the date for the next Zoom call for this group?
I thought we chose, I thought it was the same time every single month. I thought it was the second Tuesday of every month. Is that right?
Right.
Okay, so then I have on my calendar, let's see, would that be the 10th?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so Laura, would you mind sending out a recurring event to us?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And that way everybody can get on there. So Tuesday, November 10th will be our next call. Second Tuesday of the month at 11:30. And then we had the most amazing speaker at our chamber luncheon that was on Zoom, the U of L baseball coach. He is awesome. He was so motivational for those of you who listened, but I had asked him to speak. He's a client of mine. And as I was looking at the call, I thought, oh my gosh, we should have had 150 people on this call. It wasn't as well attended as I think we thought it would be. I think it's just people, it's hard with Zooms and forgetting about them. So one of the things I would ask you guys is, if you need to get with Laura and get dates, but make sure you're getting your chamber emails. We're really trying to work hard to get motivational people on these calls to get people together. Laura, do you have anything else?
No, but thank you, Tracy. I did want to say that if any of you all want to participate, tomorrow, Dr. Cobbin is hosting a Zoom call with a nonprofit affinity group. I can send you the invitation to that. And then Dr. Lesser is heading up the e-commerce and social media affinity group. And they're actually going to have 2 calls on Thursday at 12 and at 3. Same topic, same speaker, but in case you cannot get on one, maybe you can get on the other. So I'll be happy to send you the information on that. Keep in mind though that we are recording the calls, so they'll be on the website and you can go back and review those at any time. And then next Thursday, the 22nd, the Housing and Hospitality Zoom call. Allison Garrett, one of our board members, also heads up that group. So we're also looking for topics and speakers for all of the affinity groups. So if you have an idea, please send me a quick email on that. And also you can participate on any of the Zoom calls. Again, everything that we do, our whole concept is networking. So even though you might not have a business in the nonprofit industry, you're more than welcome to Zoom in on that nonprofit call just so that you can meet fellow chamber members and, you know, maybe set up some one-on-one meetings with these folks. So it's all about the networking.
Laura, when did you say the nonprofit call is?
Tomorrow. It's tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And I can send you the link for that.
Okay, perfect. And then couple suggestions for possible meeting places. Moya's on Lynn Station Road, Hurstbourne Lane. It's newer. It opened like right at the beginning of the pandemic, but they, from like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, they are pretty much empty and we could spread out as far as we wanted to, which would be, I mean, they're not empty, but they're like, you know, they have plenty of room. They even have an upstairs meeting room. So I've used that for various things. And then Fonte's Cafe, it's like a little Italian style cafe that's over like Grinstead and Lexington area close to Lemieux. They have a kind of like a media room. So that would be a smaller gathering. So like 10, maybe 10 to 12, 15 max. There's a room there that we could meet in and kind of do the socially distancing thing. So, but if it's a bigger group and if you want to eat like lunch, or have a late lunch, Moya's is going to be bigger for that. So just a couple things or a couple suggestions.
Maybe you could talk to them about joining the chamber because we do try to support our chamber members who have restaurants or meeting rooms. Some of our banks even have meeting rooms.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Then I also know Blind Squirrel has a private room upstairs on their second floor. And they're a chamber member. But I do know right now we're following the guidelines that are being put out by our governor, no more than 10 folks.
Okay.
So we are trying to follow the guidelines. And one of the reasons that we have not had in-person meetings is because of the insurance issues. Our board had decided that since there are no insurance companies that are covering COVID, if someone were to catch COVID on our watch, we would not have that kind of, you know, proper coverage for that. So that's just another thought in the back of my head.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But Tracy, I'll let you and Gina make that call and I'll go accordingly.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thanks everybody. And it was great to be on the call and meet new faces and look forward to next month. And I know I'll be reaching out to several of you. And hopefully you guys have gotten each other's information in the chat part. Have a great week and we'll look forward to next month.
And enjoy.
Thanks, Tracy.
Enjoy the weather.
Thanks,
Have a good
Laura.
afternoon.
Bye, Jimmy.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Quinn.